Believe it or not, Aldi doesn't just sell cheap items. It's quietly deciding how much money you save each year. There are products they deliberately sell at a loss to lure you into the store. There are items that look like great deals but actually make you pay more. And there are special offers that appear for just a few hours and then disappear forever. Most customers leave Aldi feeling like they've shopped smart, but the truth is they've missed the most important secrets. This video will reveal how Aldi really operates behind the scenes and why just changing a few small habits can significantly lower your bill starting from your very next trip. You'd be awesome if you liked this video.
Wow!
1. Early morning is the best time to find discounted items. Many people think that discounted products only appear at the end of the day, when stores want to clear shelves quickly. But with Aldi, the logic is completely different. In reality, the time when you're most likely to encounter discounted items is early in the morning, right when the store starts its operations for the new day. At this point, staff already have a clear understanding of the inventory status from the previous shift. Which items are selling slowly, which products need to be moved quickly because they're nearing expiration, or which packages are no longer in perfect condition. All of these are handled right from the start of the day to avoid prolonged stock buildup. Marking down prices early helps them free up shelf space faster, keeping the flow of goods neat and on schedule. What's interesting is that in the morning, there are fewer shoppers. You don't have to push through crowds or get caught up in rushed buying decisions. This gives you plenty of time to carefully check price labels, compare items, and pick discounted products that are still in very good condition. Many late shoppers often wonder why they can't find any bargains, while in fact, those deals have already been snapped up by early arrivals long before. 2. Shelf price differs from checkout price. Quite a few people have experienced this common situation. The price on the shelf is one amount, but when you get to the checkout, the screen shows a higher figure. The usual reaction is to sigh and let it go, thinking a few thousand dong isn't worth mentioning. But at Aldi, that very moment can actually work to the shopper's advantage, if you understand how the store operates. At Aldi, checkout staff are empowered to quickly resolve price discrepancies to avoid slowing down the line. They know that the shelf price is what directly influences the buying decision, so when there's a difference, their top priority is to keep the customer's experience as smooth as possible. In many cases, they can adjust the price right there on the spot, or even apply the lower price to complete the transaction quickly. The key lies in how you respond. There's no need to be confrontational or argue at length. Simply point out politely that the shelf price differs from the scanned price at the checkout and ask if it can be checked again. For experienced staff, this is usually handled in just a few seconds, as resolving it immediately saves more time than leaving the customer unsure or having to call a manager. 3. Buy private label products and avoid name brands. If you ask Aldi employees what they buy after their shift, their answers are usually very similar. They rarely choose big name brands. Instead, their carts are almost entirely filled with Aldi's private label products. The reason isn't just habit, it's because they truly understand how the store works. Aldi doesn't build its competitive model around selling lots of famous brands. The name brand items on the shelves are mainly there to create a sense of familiarity for new customers. But since they stock limited quantities, Aldi doesn't have the same negotiating power as larger supermarkets. As a result, many branded products here are actually more expensive than at other stores, even though the place still feels like a discount supermarket. In contrast, private label products are where Aldi puts all its strength. Most of these items are made in the same factories as big brand products, with nearly identical recipes. The only differences are the packaging and the price. Employees know this very well because they see customer feedback every day and rarely have to deal with complaints about private label items. Another important point is shopper psychology. When people see a familiar logo, many automatically add it to their cart without comparing prices. Aldi understands this, but employees don't fall for it. They know that choosing private label products leads to consistent savings every week and every month, and it all adds up to a significant amount over time. 4. No coupons accepted, but there's still a way to get cash back. Many people walk into Aldi and quickly feel disappointed when they learn the store doesn't accept manufacturer coupons. For those used to clipping coupons or hunting for codes, it feels like losing a familiar advantage. But Aldi employees see it very differently. They know Aldi doesn't play the coupon game because their everyday prices are already pushed down as low as possible from the start. And more importantly, there are still cashback options that most customers overlook. Instead of paper coupons, Aldi quietly partners with cashback apps. All you have to do is keep your receipt, snap a photo, or scan the code, and a portion of your money comes back to you after each purchase. The amount might be small per trip, but if you shop there regularly every week, that cashback adds up noticeably over time. Employees see this because many regular customers pay quickly and never ask for discounts, yet still save a good amount by the end of the month. The great thing is that this cashback method doesn't disrupt your shopping flow. You don't have to stand there checking shelves for matching coupons or remembering complicated promo codes. Just shop as usual, then spend a few minutes at home to submit. And you're done. With Aldi, simplicity is part of the strategy, and this cashback approach fits perfectly with that philosophy. 5. Milk is a deliberate loss leader. There's one fascinating detail that Aldi employees understand better than anyone. Why the price of milk here is always unusually low. It's not because the milk is lower quality, and it's not because Aldi is more generous than other supermarkets. In reality, milk is a strategic piece placed right from the entrance. Milk is something almost every household needs and buys regularly, week after week. Aldi uses that habit to turn milk into a silent invitation. The price is low enough for you to remember it, stable enough for you to come back, and familiar enough that you don't think twice. Employees know that as long as they keep customers coming in for essentials like milk, eggs, or bread, the rest will follow naturally. In practice, very few people go to Aldi just for one item. Once you're standing in front of the milk cooler, it's easy to grab a few things from nearby aisles. Some produce, a tray of meat, and maybe something special from the Aldi Finds section. Those "just while I'm here" items are actually where Aldi makes up the profit it sacrifices on milk. What's interesting is that this strategy isn't loud or flashy. There's no bright red sale sign. The low milk price is quiet and consistent, making shoppers feel like it's just normal. Employees understand this isn't a short-term trick. It's how Aldi keeps customers long-term without heavy advertising. 6. Employees have the authority to give discounts at the checkout. Few people realize that at Aldi, the checkout counter isn't just for ringing up purchases. It's also a flexible point in their pricing policy. Employees here are empowered to handle many situations right on the spot, instead of having to call a manager or flatly refuse like in many other supermarkets. This is a secret that regular customers often overlook. When a product has slightly dented packaging, a scratched box, a peeling label, or a bag of fruit with a few imperfect pieces, Aldi doesn't want to throw them away. Employees know the items are still perfectly usable and maintain their core quality. In those cases, they can proactively adjust the price to move the product faster, avoid waste, and reduce inventory handling costs. The key lies in how you speak up. Aldi employees are used to polite shoppers who clearly point out the issue and ask gently. Simply noting the minor flaw and asking if there's a possible discount opens up an opportunity that many others never even consider. No arguing, no frustration, sometimes just the right words at the right moment. Employees also know that giving a small discount to keep a customer happy is always better than letting them leave dissatisfied. That's why this checkout flexibility is part of Aldi's service culture, even though it's not publicly advertised. 7. Forgot your coin? You can still get a cart. Many first-time Aldi shoppers get confused when they realize they've forgotten a coin to unlock a shopping cart. That moment is enough to make some people turn around and leave, thinking the rule is too strict. But in reality, Aldi employees know what's more important than a single small coin. The coin-operated cart system was created to save costs and keep the parking lot tidy, not to make things difficult for customers. So if you forget your coin, just ask an employee at the register or near the entrance. In most cases, they'll lend you a coin or simply hand you a cart that already has one inserted. Aldi doesn't want to lose a shopper over such a minor detail. Employees deal with this situation more often than you might think. They see it every day, especially with new customers or those in a hurry. Instead of being rigid, Aldi chooses flexibility to keep the shopping experience smooth. Please like this video if any of this surprised you. 8. Personal care items are often not the cheapest. Many people carry old habits into Aldi, assuming that since it's a discount supermarket, everything is a great deal. But employees view personal care products very differently. Toilet paper, tissues, shampoo, toothpaste, or dish soap at Aldi aren't always the best price. In fact, at many times the prices are the same as, or even higher than at larger chains. The reason lies in the operating strategy. Aldi focuses its efforts on fresh food, private label items, and fast-moving products. For personal care goods, they don't buy in huge volumes, can't negotiate the best prices, and there are no manufacturer coupons to help offset costs. Employees know that if you buy these items at Aldi without comparing, you might end up paying more without even realizing it. Another detail is shopping psychology. Once inside Aldi, many people conveniently grab toilet paper or shampoo to complete their trip, thinking the difference isn't worth worrying about. That convenience slowly adds up on the bill. Employees do things differently. They separate their needs, buying groceries at Aldi and personal care items wherever the price is better. This doesn't mean you should completely avoid this category at Aldi. There are times when the prices are still decent, especially during store-specific promotions. But the smart approach is to always quickly glance at alternatives or remember your usual prices for comparison. Just pausing for a few seconds can be enough to avoid an overpriced purchase. 9. Produce has improved dramatically these days. If you've ever heard someone say that the produce at Aldi goes bad quickly, they're probably referring to stories from many years ago. Longtime employees all know this used to be a real weak point. But that's exactly why Aldi made strong changes to the way they handle it. They didn't want to lose customer trust. And not everyone has noticed this improvement. These days, produce at Aldi is brought in more frequently, turns over faster, and is strictly checked right from the moment it arrives. Employees have the authority to reject any shipment that doesn't meet standards before it even hits the shelves, instead of trying to sell it all anyway. This helps prevent items from sitting too long, which was the main reason produce used to lose quality quickly. Another big advantage is the smaller store size. It might sound counterintuitive, but not carrying too many items means the produce sells out faster. When items don't sit on the shelves for long, freshness stays higher. Employees see this every day, especially in the early morning when fresh stock arrives and it looks just as good as in bigger supermarkets. In reality, many types of produce at Aldi come from the same suppliers as other chains. The only differences are the packaging and the price. Since Aldi doesn't have to cover costs for fancy displays or branding, they can offer lower prices while keeping comparable quality. That's why employees often buy produce for their own families right here instead of going elsewhere. 10. Aldi spices are made in the same factories as big brands. There's one fact that makes Aldi employees smile whenever customers ask why the spices here are so affordable. The secret isn't cutting corners on flavor, it's where they're produced. Many Aldi spices come from the exact same factories as well-known brands, following very similar processes and recipes. The biggest differences are just the label on the jar and the price you pay. Aldi doesn't spend money on big advertising campaigns or long-term branding efforts for spices. They focus on the core product, keeping the aroma, texture, and consistency steady from batch to batch. Employees know this because customer feedback is so consistent. The spices perform reliably, taste familiar, and people rarely switch brands midway. One interesting detail is how Aldi optimizes packaging. Simple jars, clear labels, nothing fancy. It might seem minor, but those extras are costs that shoppers usually pay for elsewhere. By skipping them, Aldi keeps prices low without touching the quality inside. 11. Aldi finds items are gone forever once they're sold out. There's one section in Aldi that even employees keep a close eye on: the Aldi Finds aisle. This isn't a regular shelf where you can buy something today and find it again next week. Instead, it operates on a very clear rule. Once it's sold out, that's it. No promises of restocking. Aldi Finds are brought into stores in short, limited batches, just enough to grab attention but not enough to last long. Employees know these items aren't reordered because Aldi's goal isn't long-term sales. It's to create unexpected highlights in the shopping experience. That very uncertainty is what makes many customers come back more often, afraid of missing something interesting. The thing is, a lot of shoppers see a cool item and think they can just pick it up next time. Employees know how that usually ends. When those customers return, the shelf is empty, and the spot has already been taken by something completely different. So the rule for anyone who really understands Aldi is to approach Aldi finds with decisiveness. If the item fits your needs and the price is right, buy it now. Hesitating means missing out. Knowing it won't be restocked helps you make firm decisions, avoid regrets, and truly embrace the here today, gone tomorrow spirit that Aldi intentionally creates in this special section. 12. Wednesday is the golden day of the week. For longtime Aldi employees, Wednesday isn't just another midweek day. It's when the store truly changes its skin the most, and when the savvy shoppers show up more than usual. Employees know that if you want to score great items at good prices, coming on the right day matters more than coming at the right time. Wednesday is when Aldi starts its weekly rotation. New Aldi finds hit the shelves, seasonal items begin appearing, and any leftover products from the previous week get cleared out quickly. This creates a completely different feel compared to other days. The store looks fresher, offers more choices, and gives you a better chance of finding rare items. Employees often notice two clear types of shoppers on this day. One type just picks up their usual groceries and walks past without paying much attention. The other type knows the game. They head straight to the Aldi Finds section, carefully checking every shelf and every new bin that's just been put out. They understand that skipping Wednesday might mean waiting a whole week or missing the item entirely. After everything we've just shared, it's clear that Aldi isn't as simple as its budget-friendly appearance suggests. It's a place where understanding just a few key principles can completely change how you shop compared to everyone else. Not by buying more, but by buying smarter. Not chasing the feeling of cheapness, but knowing which items truly benefit your wallet. Once you grasp these secrets, every trip to Aldi will involve less waste, fewer regrets, and a clear sense of being in control. And most importantly, you'll no longer shop out of habit. You'll shop with knowledge, the kind that leads to lasting savings, not just for one visit. Which part of this video surprised you the most?